Hey there students, it's Mr. V. I just want to make a quick little video for my beginning entertainment design students. You guys are learning how to paint for the very first time digitally. Some of you have never painted before, and ideally though, before signing up for this class, you've been drawing for a long time. You've got really good grasp of those fundamentals. Well, regardless, even from the most seasoned to the newest beginner, this blank canvas can be pretty intimidating. And so I just want to share with you a fun little technique that I use every now and then. I've heard it called chaos to control. And what that means is you work from a bunch of visual noise and you let your brain try to pull out shapes that you see and work off of that. Sometimes you go in cold without any ideas and you just kind of let the ideas come to you as you work. It really messes up the canvas, and let me just give you an example of what can come out of it. Now you do need some fundamental training in order to pull this off. So I'm just going to make a bunch of blobs. Let's play with, say, like a landscape or something. So I've just got kind of this really noisy brush, and you know, if you've ever drawn a landscape before, you know that there's some flat ground in there. All right. Let's just start slapping stuff in. No real pattern other than, you know, hey, this might be where you stand, and you know, this might be where, you know, something could be, and so on, you know, and just kind of play around with what you got. Grab a few colors when those things overlap. I've got my brush set at you know, like half strength of opacity, and so those brush strokes are going to overlap and things are going to happen that are really unplanned. Just a lot of noise and weirdness, okay? And then if your brain starts to see differences in pattern, you might see something in there. All right? And you're probably wondering, well, what kind of brush am I using? Well, it doesn't really matter what kind of brush you use. Ultimately, it's your fundamentals that come into play. And so right now, you know, I'm getting some things darker as they get close to me. And man, suddenly, I don't know, my brain, I mean, is looking at, this could be like a rocky world. This could be a forest. This could be an alien planet. But it's starting to come together as something. Okay, so there's a couple of skills that you'll learn as a beginner on how like an environment would work and what's going on in a piece to kind of give that illusion that there's a camera in the shot and like how tall the viewer is. But generally, I'm thinking there'd be like a horizon right about here, and this would be the ground. And these things could be anything. They could be like ruins. They could be like the teeth of a giant monster. They could be all sorts of good stuff. But the point is that this came about by complete like accident. Up close, there's nothing really to it other than just a bunch of blotching and smashing things together. If you're having trouble coming up with ideas or trying to get the skills down, rather than, you know, getting into the pool and trying to focus on like really crisp technique and all that, just jump in there, start splashing in the shallow end, and have fun. That's pretty much it. There's going to be a time for you to learn, like, well, where do you put light and stuff if we're going to make this, you know, these areas darker and kind of give that illusion that there's form in here, you know. You'll learn all that. But for now, to just kind of overcome that fear of this painting, just get in there and blap some stuff in. And if your brain starts to see, you know, patterns in this, work off of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around a little bit and start, you know, adding just some fundamentals in here, and let's see what happens to this painting. So anyway, that's just kind of a quick little speed painting, starting with chaos, craziness, and just dive in there. If you feel uncomfortable, just get in there and just start painting. You can't get any worse from going in and doing something a lot. All right, it really helps. Throughout the year, you'll learn some really cool and fun things, in terms of like perspective and horizon lines and all that. But I assure you, if you want to tackle that fear of painting, just get in there and do it. And do a lot of it. So that is like chaos to control. Remember, just try to allow your brain the opportunity to find patterns in a bunch of junk, and then just pull stuff out. And if you can, make sense out of strange blobs of paint, and that looks like a creature, then start to sculpt it like a creature. And you notice when I painted this, I had to add and then take away, right? There's a point where in my brain I saw things, and it made sense. All right, so then I just continued to work that. So anyway, have fun with it, you guys, and I'll see you in beginner's class. Take care.